Hey Cornerstone, it's Pastor Thad here, and just standing here at the beautiful Mineral Lake. It's a beautiful day here in Middlefield, Ohio, and just wanted to come and just chat a little bit about one of the pastoral prayers that we have been praying over the course of this last year. You know, the Apostle Paul in 1 Corinthians chapter 2, he wrote, "For I decided to know nothing among you except Jesus Christ and Him crucified." One of our prayers this year is that we would have a greater understanding of how the gospel impacts every area of our life. When we read 1 Corinthians chapter 2, it's not like Paul only had one message. He wasn't an itinerant preacher that only had one sermon. But it's that everything that he preached was preached in light of the gospel. And oftentimes as Christians, we tend to think that the gospel is something for the unbeliever, and then once we get saved, we get into the real meat of the truth of the Bible, and we grow in that. But in reality, as we just go deeper and deeper and deeper into the idea of how the gospel impacts our life. And so we're standing outside, and it's beautiful. There's a lot of homes here, and people come here all the time just to fish or to walk. The gospel impacts all those things. And the gospel has implications for how we live our lives in our homes, and it has implications for how we exercise or how we do our recreational activities. The gospel impacts the way we play our sports, and the gospel impacts how I relate to friends and family. And we have holidays coming up, and Thanksgiving and Christmas just right around the corner, and the gospel impacts those things. How do I reach out to those who have hurt me in the past? The gospel impacts that. If we understand that Jesus Christ came and pursued us when we were His enemies, well, certainly has something to say about how we treat those in our family as well as those who are not our family. And so I'm just keep praying that we would understand the deeper levels, that there's nothing that we can talk about where the gospel doesn't make an impact. So our marriages and our parenting and the way we work and every facet of life, we filter it through the cross of Jesus Christ. And so keep praying with me on that. Keep praying that we would understand this deeper, and that we would understand the implications of the gospel more in our life. And so the gospel impacts every area of our life. And even we're going to see this morning through the book of Judges how a group of people kind of subtly and slowly moved away from a closeness with God and gradually forgot Him. And I just fear, I don't want us to ever get to the place where we forget the gospel. Because I feel that if we do, we're going to slowly move away from Him. So even this morning, we're going to learn and be reminded about that the gospel is meant for every area of our life.